38. Nakamoto and his procession were entering a city square not very far from his headquarters. He knew that turning left at the square would lead him to Ninhai Road. Near the entrance of this road was the big compound which housed the Safety Zone Committee. Following Ninhai Road for 10 to 15 minutes, he would be right at the front gate of a Jingling College for women. He could picture it all clearly in his mind, as if he had been there. As he marched on, reliving again and again the victory procession which was still so fresh in his mind, a vibrant ray of sunlight cut a swath through the gray sky, bathing Nakamoto and his men in sudden radiance. The troops behind him let out a loud, exhilarating cheer. A few soldiers broke out singing. Others joined in fervently. You and I are cherry blossoms of the same year. Even if we're far apart or our petals fall, we'll bloom again in the treetops of the capital's Yasukuni shrine. At the first note of the song, Nakamoto shivered. He had visited the shrine on top of Kudan Hill in Tokyo. What an honor it would be to have died for the emperor and to be enshrined there. Okasan would be so proud of her son. They marched on through the square. Nakamoto's eyes scanned the buildings. They looked as miserable as ever, pitiable houses with collapsed roofs and crumbling walls. His eyes fell upon an opening in the street, a small lane emerging between two shattered, crumbling buildings. Peering down the alley, Nakamoto could see that it exacted between a mass of hoary old houses with drab gray walls and blue-gray tiled roofs. But in the midst of this gloomy scene deep in the alley, a single magnificent prune tree stood in front of a small, old two-story building. It was truly a marvelous sight in this burned, bombed-out section of the city. Nakamoto steadied himself on his horse and raised his binoculars. Now he could see clearly that on the tree's upturned branches were clusters of delicate purple buds which turned reddish toward their very tips. Nakamoto's heart pounded. Right behind the tree, in the lower corner of an upstairs window, it was unmistakable. A young face. Despite the soot and the messy tresses in her hair, the face looked pure and beautiful, the eyes gazing intently in his direction. Nakamoto breathed lustily. She would be the Hua Gunyang for tonight.